All right, let's call the Mandan Public School District Number 1 meeting to order. It's Monday, March 2nd, 2026 at 5:30 p.m. Everybody please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance, okay? Thank you, everybody. Greatly appreciate that. Welcome to come tonight. Thank you very much. We are going to adjust the agenda just a little bit. Normally, we have public comments right at the front of it, but we do have a little bit of presentation around Custer, so we thought we would do that first so everybody had that information before they got up and talked. I think it just makes it everybody on the same playing field a little bit. So thanks, Dr. Bitts, for mentioning that. I think that was a really good idea. All right, next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Dr. Bitts, I think you had a couple changes.
I do. I have 3 additions to the agenda. Under new business, letter C, we just got a letter of resignation today. Kayla Gomez Munoz, who teaches English at Mandan High School, and I believe that letter is in front of you. And then under letter D, for certified retirements, Renee Bryan, who teaches special ed at Mandan High School, submitted her letter over the weekend. And then under letter E, new business, we have a request to hire Delaney Ziegler, who will be teaching English at Mandan High School next year. It's a request to hire. So those 3 would be my
all right, you also gave me future meeting dates, March 4th, Heart River CTA, 6 p.m. in the Mandan
Correct.
CTE conference room, and March 5th, the assistant superintendent interviews at 9 a.m. in the Brave Center, correct?
Correct.
Those should also be added?
Yes.
Yep, okay. Anybody else have any other changes? What are the wishes of the board of the modified agenda?
I would move that we approve the agenda with mentioned changes or additions, excuse me.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
And we have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, please call roll.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next item is the administrator report. Item on the agenda is impact of current technical education. Dr. Bitts?
I don't think they showed up, so.
Okay, so we'll move that to a different meeting date then.
Correct.
All right, then we'll move on to the presentation on the Custer Elementary. Dr. Bitts again.
Yeah, start out by saying that I love Custer. It's a great school. This is not something that I enjoy presenting on or want to talk about, but our enrollment is shifting. We've got our middle school enrollment is increasing significantly, and they're requesting staff with their property tax. We're deficit spending already, $1.4 million, I think, or $1.6 million this year, and we aren't able to add the staff there right now where our kids are. And I think it's important for us to right size so that we can serve all students better. Mandan's not alone. This has been going on across the state. Bismarck closed Saxvig in 2016. Grand Forks closed West in 2021. 2 years ago, Minot closed McKinley and Bell. Jamestown closed Washington Elementary. And Fargo is closing several elementaries. In 2028, they're reorganizing and building a larger school to be more efficient. I just actually had somebody else tell me this morning that Valley City's closed Washington Elementary as part of their building project. There's been rifts going on all over the state between the state funding and the property tax caps. Schools have been hit hard and are having to make choices. Right now, Custer has 101 students in grades K through 5. We have 17 certified staff or teachers there and 15 classified staff. Those are our paras, our cooks, our custodians, our administrative assistants. Not all of those are full-time, but we do have 32 staff working with those 101 students. 22 of those 101 students are fifth graders and will be moving to the middle school next year. So there's 79 that will be returning to Custer grades K through 4. And thank you, Carly. So that will be returning to Custer next year. When Mr. Steckler told us that he was resigning and not coming back, and we were going to be looking at hiring another principal, we talked about that's a position that we could repurpose and put it where our kids are up at the middle school and help them out. We've got classes over 30 right now at the middle school, and they need some relief. They need some staff. We just don't have any funds to give it to them. We kind of looked at those numbers. I got our elementary principals together, and we said if we took those 79 kids, we looked at where they live, if we parceled them out to the elementary schools in the area, would we have room? And every one of them said, yeah. We have 3 vacant classrooms in our other elementary schools right now, and our class sizes, especially K through 3, are relatively low. They all said that they felt comfortable with those numbers and supporting those students as long as the adults came with them. So here's our overall enrollment, and you can see that we've got have a really nice growth. Going back to when I got here in 2010, up until about 2022, it was just a pretty significant increase line. It's flattened out in the last few years. That's due to the birth rate. It's due to the economy slowing down. We're still growing, but it's relatively flat. Here's our elementary, and grades 6 through 12 are in red, and you can see they're rising. Grades K through 5 are the blue, and you can see that they're dropping. This year alone, we had 70 fewer kids in our elementary, with our 5th graders going out and our kindergartners coming in. We expect that to continue in future years. Custer's never been a big school. There's one section of kindergarten through grade 5 in that building. You can see that in 2021 we only had 100 kids there, so this isn't even the lowest we've ever been. There's a couple of years where we had mid 130s in there, but Custer it's just a small school. There's not a lot more kids you can put in or take out of that school. Custer is also our most mobile area, mobility rate. We average about 18% of the kids at Custer don't start the school year or end the school year there. That's not necessarily bad. It's just there's a lot of rentals in the area, apartment buildings, mobile home, houses that are for rent. Nothing wrong with that. I've lived in a mobile home. I've lived in an apartment. Some of the happiest years of my life were in those. But when I was there, I stayed for a couple of years and I moved, or a year and I moved. Lived in lots of different apartments. That's just the nature of it. Fort Lincoln has our lowest mobility rate. They're less than 5%, but they don't have a single apartment building in their boundary area. A lot going on this slide. I think you have it in front of you too, but if you look on the far left-hand side, that's the number of live births in Morton County from 2005 to 2025. The lowest number, which is kind of in orange or salmon, we had 340 births in 2005. The highest number was 517 births in 2016. 5 years later, if you look at that middle column, that's how many kindergartners we had show up. And you can see the lowest we've had is 253 in 2007. The highest we had is 377 in 2016. Percentage-wise, the highest we've ever had is 85% of those kindergartners that have come to us. The lowest we've had is 65%. But if you average it out, it's about 75% of the kindergarten births show up for kindergarten 5 years later. And if that happens on the bottom in purple or pink, whatever color that is, you can see that this year we have 301 kindergartners. Next year we'll have 345 if we get 75% of those births. And as you go down, then it would go to 299, 328, 340, and 343. In the green box on the side, this year we're down 70 from 5th graders going to the middle school to kindergartners coming in. We only had 301 kindergartners this year. We moved 371 up to the high school. Next year, if we have 345 kindergartners, which I'm pretty confident we're going to be close to that, within a few we're going to be down 27. The year after that we'll be down 85. In 28, 29 we'll be down another 47. Those 4 years together are about 229 students that will be down at the elementary. Those students aren't leaving our district. They're moving up to the middle school and high school. And we don't have the staff to serve them there right now. We also don't have the dollars to hire the staff to serve them right now, which is the unfortunate thing. We don't have the ability to raise taxes to generate more revenue. We're kind of, the state controls our revenue, and we're locked into our revenue, and we have to choose where we're going to spend our dollars is the legit. This is our average cost per pupil. You can see up top on the left side, Custer this year is going to cost us about $14,500 per pupil. Fort Lincoln about $7,800 a pupil. Lakewood about $8,200 per pupil. And that's just a matter of the amount of staff that it takes at Custer to get all the programming offered for 101 kids. When we do snow removal, it's for 101 kids instead of everything is more expensive. You lose the efficiency with more students. And you can see Lewis and Clark, 8,400. Mary Stark was about in the 7,000s. Last couple years since we opened Lakewood, they've been in the 10,000s. But once they get more students put back into them, they would be back in that $7,000, $8,000 range like all the other schools. And then here's just a graph showing that. You can see Custer's up top in blue. Mary Stark is in the pink, purple, or lavender, whatever it is. And you can see that when Lakewood, they spiked, but it would bring all the expenditures back in order. You know, I've had people ask, well, what's going to happen if births start coming up, oil starts rising, the economy turns around, and we need space? And I don't think it's going to be anytime soon when I look at those birth rates. But if 5, 6 years from now, 8 years from now, we do need to add space. Custer's a great school. There's nothing wrong with it. I love Custer. I love going there. Great staff, great administration, great students. There's nothing I can say bad about Custer other than it's very expensive to operate. The per pupil, the adults that we need to have there per student just make it very expensive. And if we add on to Lakewood, which it was designed to do, it would just pop out a little piece and put that on. I wouldn't have to hire another principal. We wouldn't have to hire new cooks. It wouldn't cost us any more for snow removal. It's just much more economical to do it that way. Don't like to recommend this. It's just that if we want to serve our students in the middle school where our needs are, I don't have another answer of how to do that. And I can pause for any questions that you might have.
Mike, could you speak a little bit more about the employees and how they'll be disseminated
Thank
out?
you.
Because you mentioned.
Thank you. Dr. Rederath and I went down to Custer. We met with the Custer staff. We've spent several meetings down there. Nobody's going to lose their job. We're going to take care of all of our staff. And you can look on your agenda. We've got several resignations across the district. We basically sent them a survey and said, tell us where you'd like to go, what you'd like to do. Give us your top 3 choices. We gave them a little text box, say, tell us what's important to you, so that they could do that and we could place them. We've got a pretty good plan. I think Dr. Rederath's been leading that, but I think she said she feels pretty good about where we are right now. We did issue contracts to 370 some teachers, I think, this morning, or Amy did. Those are due back in 2 weeks. We don't want to place the Custer staff because we may get a resignation or two that makes sense to put a Custer staff member in that we didn't know was open. Our counterparts right now in Grand Forks and Fargo and in many schools across the state, they're facing the same property tax caps, same birth rate issues. This is not a Mandan issue. There's a lot of non-renewals and a lot of rifts going on. We're fortunate. I don't think we have to do that. This would just be repurposing positions and reassigning people.
Dr. Bitts, we issued contracts this morning, and all of the teaching professionals
Everybody
at
got a
Custer
contract.
got their contract offered
Everybody
to
got a
them, right?
contract, and our classified staff, this will be on recording, they will have a job, I promise you. Our cooks, our administrative assistant, our custodians, all of them, paras, they will all have jobs.
Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead, Rick.
Dr. Bitts, the cost per pupil, will that rise or lower when these students are distributed throughout the district?
I believe it'll lower just because we're not spending the money at Custer. In other words, when I don't have to hire another principal, that's going to lower our elementary expenditures by that. We currently have I think we have 3 opening teacher openings at the elementary school. By reassigning Custer staff to those buildings, those are 3 teachers we don't have to hire. By reassigning paras, we have a administrative assistant in the elementary that retired or will be retiring at the end of the school year. We won't have to replace her. So those are salaries we're already paying those salaries, and by repurposing these positions, we won't have to pay them. I don't like to do this. I really don't. It's just, it's a way to be more efficient and be more responsible to our taxpayers, and also for us to spend some of those dollars at the middle school where we've got an extra 70 sixth graders this year.
Go ahead.
Dr. Bitts, you've been talking a little bit about efficiency, but I wanted you to talk a little bit about how those students will land in the schools they'll land in, and kind of our average classroom ratios, because I know that's one of the things that's nice about a smaller school is a lot of times it feels more attentive. And could you just speak to that, please?
It is. We have about almost 100, between 90 and 100 elementary classrooms across the district. Obviously, Red Trail, I think, got 1 student from Custer, and Fort Lincoln got 1 student. The rest went to Mary Stark, Lewis and Clark, Lakewood, and Roosevelt. And Lakewood, sorry, missed one. We have 3 empty classrooms that I'm assuming that those are going to open up. Once those open up, and then there may be some classes that gain 1 or 2 students more than they have now. At the middle school, our class sizes will drop significantly. Right now, we've got electives with over 30 students. We'd like to lower that number.
One follow-up. What is the average class size to teacher ratio in our elementary schools? Do we have a general?
I can tell you that what our goals are.
What are our goals?
Our goals are K through 2. We'd like to be at 20 or less.
Yeah.
Grades grades 3 and 4. No, K and 1, 20 and less. 2 and 3, 23 or less. And 4 and 5, 25 or less. I think right now in first grade and kindergarten at Custer, we have 13 and 12. So the class sizes is nice. It's a great environment. It's just that our other schools don't have that.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Anybody else got any questions?
I was going to see, do you know how many kindergartners are registered so far to Custer? Or?
Go ahead.
I don't know specific to Custer. We only at this point have about 156 kindergartners registered last time I looked, which is about on pace for what we currently are at this year. How many are specific to Custer, I don't know off the top of my head.
When I visited with Mrs. Power about that last week, she said we're trending almost identical to where we were last year when we had 301 kindergartners. I assured her we were going to have 345 because of the birth rate and that it's going to pick up. So I hope it does.
And another question. So the parents had a choice to request the schools.
They did. And we gave them, I think, a deadline of April 15th. We've talked about 2 things. We talked about, I think we tentatively set May 1st, where if you make the decision to close Custer, we would like to bus the kids over to their new school, give them a tour of it, let them, feel it. We've also talked about having a parent night at each of the schools affected and stipending staff to stay for a couple extra hours and meet the new students and families.
So with that, is there going to be a cap on the request if there's a large influx that wants to go to one school? Because there's a lot of concerns of the friends that are moving away and things like that.
I think we always do. Literally we get, I'll say hundreds. 100 might be high, but we get dozens of requests. I would say 50, 60, 70 requests in the elementary school to go to a different building. We try to honor those to the extent we can. When we start getting into 27, 28 in the classroom, it's like, okay, we can't do that. We do have some vacant classrooms that we could open up or that we will open up. Once we know where students want to be, we'll make those decisions.
How would I want to word this? How many concerns were brought up to you from the public currently that through emails or phone calls or anything of that nature that?
I didn't take any phone calls. I don't think Dr. Rederath did either. I did get 2 emails from a husband and wife, and I did get a email from a great aunt, so 3 emails.
3 emails, okay. And then how, the staff at Custer, generally, are they okay with closing Custer? What's their feelings?
A lot of them are here. I won't speak for them. No, they're great people. I think when we shared this presentation with them, Dr. Rederath and I have shared this presentation with all of our elementary schools and the middle school, and I think everybody's head and heart tells them a different thing. Their heart tells them that we love Custer, we want it to stay open. I love going to Custer. It's one of my favorite schools to visit. I don't like to be in this situation, but I think I don't want to speak for them.
Just to add to that, if I can, I think they've been nothing but professional.
Yes.
And like Dr. Betts said, their head and their heart tell you 2 different things, and they're a family. And I'm not a big crier, but I think I've cried at least 3 times talking to them probably over the last month. But they've been professional, and they want to do what's best for kids. And they're kids and all kids. And so I can't say enough about how they've conducted themselves and how Mr. NC has led them in general, but especially over the last month, because it hasn't been an easy month for them.
Anybody else have any questions?
Did you want to talk about what's the plan for the building?
This is crazy. I've had, without advertising, I think we've had 5 parties express interest, and every one of them I said, we're not even going to have this conversation until the board makes a decision to close it. I don't want to walk people through like a realtor when people are still there. My recommendation to you is that if you close Custer or vote to close Custer, that we eliminate the building. I think that increases our savings. And I think there's going to be plenty of interest. I know there's going to be plenty of interest. So I would hope that we close it. I also hope that we work out with whoever buys it, that they keep the playground equipment in the park there. And I think that's something that I have talked to the people that have called about. That's a neighborhood park and playground.
One more question. I know we've talked about this a little bit, but maybe to talk about why it was brought up to me, maybe moving special ed programs into that building and why we couldn't do that.
We did. Bismarck has BSEP, and they run it in, I think it's the old, is it Richholt building in Bismarck? They also have Head Start come in. You can't move all your special ed kids into one school and segregate them and say, all of our special ed kids go here. That's almost like discriminating against them and putting them there. If we do that, we'd have to have a bunch of role models that would come in and do that. So, and that doesn't make a lot of economic sense. That wouldn't allow us. The reason we're kind of doing this is the middle school and the high school are saying we're getting more kids, we need more staff, we have to serve them. And we have no way of levying more dollars other than redistributing the dollars and putting the position where the kids are.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? All right. Thank you, Dr. Bitts. We'll have more when we get around to discussing it at the end and after some presentations. Before we go to public comment, we got one other piece. Do you want to talk about the notice of annexation hearing? It'll be quick.
Yes, it's not up on my computer now, but I believe it's April 6th. We have a family in the Mandan School District who borders Sweetbriar is petitioning to annex their land from Mandan into Sweetbriar. And I think the date is April 6th at 4:00 is that hearing. I will be there to represent you. I don't think there's much we can do other than show up.
All right. So that's just informational then for everybody. All right, now we're on to the good part here. We're at public comment. We move this down. Normally we have it higher up, but we moved it down so you could at least listen to Dr. Pitts's presentation in relation to it. So it's a public comment period. We ask if you step up and going to comment, state your name and where you live in regard to it, and try to limit it to 5 minutes and provide your information to the board in regard to it. As a board, we do truly want to hear what you have to say. So please step up and provide comments now in regard to it. Okay? Anybody want to step up? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Patricia Camisa. I live on 10th Avenue Northeast in Mandan, and I can see Custer down my alleyway out my front window. I know that we mentioned that we could not move the special education preschool students to Custer because it'd be considered segregation. However, preschool is not mandatory in North Dakota. Neither is the special ed preschool program. So we could move them to the Custer building and put in a program not unlike Community Friends of BSEP and make revenue with it. I believe it's something like $100 per student for a Community Friends student. That could have changed. That was the last number I had gotten a few years ago from friends who had children in that program. To me, as a person who lives down the street, I can't imagine losing a school in that neighborhood, and because it is zoned for very interestingly as commercial and residential, I swear if there's another bank built there, I might lose my mind. Yes, it would be fantastic if the playground stayed. There's no playground in that neighborhood. There's no place for my kid to go play during the day, in the afternoons and the evenings in the summertime. However, it would be a loss of an entire building that property taxes have paid for. It's loss of community. There are things that that school provides for that neighborhood, regardless of whether there's children there or not. It's nice to see children on the playground in the mornings, going to school. My son is obsessed with school buses right now, and he loves seeing all the school buses in the morning. But I think that our numbers might be off. I have 3 new neighbors on my street alone on my block. All 3 of them are young families like myself who don't have kids yet, but are actively trying for children. So in 5 years, that's at least 3 families just on my block alone that could have children. We have houses for sale up the street from us. There's houses for sale 3 doors or 3 blocks down from me. And to say that we are just going to tear this building down or repurpose it or sell it to somebody for a private entity of something else, I feel like that would be a loss for the community. Not necessarily because I want us to waste, quote unquote, waste money on the small classrooms, but I feel like repurposing that building and keeping it in the school district would also make sense for a special education preschool, in my opinion. I think it would be a huge loss if we just sold it off and whoever wanted to do what they wanted with it could. And being it's in my neighborhood, it makes me nervous about that. So I guess that's just my 2 cents. I think that it's something to explore to have the special education preschoolers go there along with a community friends type program, because it would be a huge asset. And it would free up even more classroom space in the other elementary schools for those kids who are leaving Custer. Thanks.
Thank you. Patricia, have you signed in on the document just so
Yes.
we can make sure we get all the right names in there?
Yep.
Okay, just want to make sure that was done. Thank you. And if you haven't signed in, please make sure you do that before you leave, all right? Amy's got it up here. Somebody hasn't, we can get it signed in. All right, anybody else want to provide input? Anybody else? Lots of people here. Nobody wants to provide input? We're here to listen. Seeing none, I'll ask one last time. Anybody else? Well, thank you all. Then we'll move on. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. First item on the consent agenda is review and consider previous board minutes from February 2nd, 2026. Accept the wellness minutes from February 2nd, 2026. Accept facility and finance minutes from February 9th, 2026. Accept policy and personnel minutes from February 23rd, 2026. Review and consider special board meeting minutes from February 24th, 2026. Review and consider January 2026 bills. Review and consider January 2026 revenue and expenditures. Review and consider approval of a final reading of the following policies: GBRA, jury duty, GBRA, drug and alcohol-free workplace, GBRAA, drug and alcohol testing for safety-sensitive employees, GBRH, professional leave of absence, GBRI, family and medical leave, GBRI-R, family and medical leave procedures. Review and consider approval of the final reading to delete the following policies, GBRC, professional workload. What are the wishes of the board?
I would make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have multiple seconds. Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item is unfinished business. We have no unfinished business.
President Wolf, can I interrupt you? Sorry.
Yes, you may.
Our speaker on our DECA speaker on CTE was able to arrive. She was stuck at the state DECA conference competing and has now been able to come. Do you mind if she shares for a few minutes?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank
Please
you.
step up to the podium. Thank you for being
So much, and sorry for the delay again. There was actually an accident apparently on the highway on towards Bismarck, so they made everybody reroute sort of while they cleared that out. But thank you so much for your guys' time today. My name is Brianna Santiago de Villa. I'm from the Mandan High School, and I am the chapter president of Mandan DECA. And I just want to talk to you guys briefly about the importance of DECA and other CTE programs at school. Do you guys have any questions on what DECA or CTE's program is in the first place?
Maybe since there's a bunch of people here, maybe just give us a 1-minute kind of overview of what it is so everybody knows, all right?
So CTE and DECA go hand in hand. DECA is empowered by this, specifically at Mandan High School, the marketing CTE class, which gives students real-world education access, and CTE itself stands for career and technical education. All it means is that it's teaching students about how to apply what they're learning to the real world.
Okay.
With that, oops, sorry. Some of the benefits of CTE, such as DECA, is that it cultivates critical thinking skills and it promotes team collaboration. It allows for students to work together and learn this. Especially in today's world, we need to learn how to work together more cooperatively to solve issues quicker and become more of a unionized group. It also fosters an entrepreneurial mindset. Basically, it fosters the future leaders of our community, such as you guys, for example, where you guys make major decisions for our community. It also encourages goal setting, where students basically come together and set goals that are real for our community and also real for them, while also giving them educational benefits. Compared to traditional education, it's very straightforward. It's kind of geared for all subjects and a lot of students can't see how they're connected to it. A lot of students ask, when am I actually going to use this? It's like one of the most iconic questions ever. While CTE programs kind of connect that, it shows how they're going to use those skills and put it towards possibilities like a career in marketing, for example. It bridges the two gaps where students stop asking, how am I actually going to connect this, and how they actually can use it, and while learning still. Success stories. Here are some statistics about CTE, specifically DECA as well. 85% of DECA participants reported that they've seen an increase in confidence in themselves. I know for myself, since my freshman year, I've gained a lot of confidence with public speaking. I normally wouldn't stutter as much, so sorry. But freshman year, since my freshman year, I don't think I ever would have gotten up here to actually talk in front of people, so I know myself, it's definitely helped. 70% of CTE students find jobs in their field after graduation, meaning that they're able to find actual jobs. A lot of people today, especially young adults, are saying that they are struggling to find jobs after they graduate college, high school. CTE such as DECA bridges that gap. We also see a 10% increase in graduation rates among CTE students compared to their peers. Students who partake in CTEs often graduate on track 10 times more likely than their peers. 90% of employers prefer candidates with CTE experience because obviously a lot of employers right now, they're looking for people who have the skills, who have the education already. And a lot of times what CTE does is that it contracts you with those people. It shows, hey, we know people in this industry who can actually teach you how to get this job in the future. It's just a real valuable knowledge that everybody can use in their day-to-day life. And then 95% of DECA students develop essential teamwork skills. We learn, especially in DECA, how to work with others to create solutions to our issues, how to work together and efficiently solve problems while talking to others effectively. sorry. With DECA, we also we like to work together with local businesses. We like to collaborate and learn because it's a great way to get students involved. What we do, for example, today at the State DECA conference is that we got to network with a bunch of local businesses around North Dakota and work with them and talk. And we got to learn how to actually talk to businesses and what we can do with them. Even some people learned that this is how they can maybe get into that future career role that they really wanted. To sum it up, basically, CTEs such as DECA are crucial programs for students in Mandan and not just Mandan, across the state and nationwide. It's so important that students have access to CTE programs. That way they can learn how they can actually apply any skills, not necessarily maybe a career, but the skills of teamwork, communication, and anything like that to the real world. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Any questions? You're over at DECA at the state conferences?
Yeah,
Does
just
that go
today.
tomorrow too, or is it today?
It was yesterday, today, and tomorrow as well.
Well, good luck to you all very much and everything you do over there. It's a big thing. And Dr. Bitts, you want
I was going to say, I just looked, and she did send me a message saying she was going to be late, but it was,
Yeah.
but said I was right before the meeting, I didn't check it, so thank you for the message. And yeah.
Yes, and also thank you for moving it. I know you wanted to come at the last meeting, and we didn't have a meeting, so thank you for that.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. Obviously, things happen.
And good luck on the DECA. And I teach at the university level, and there's DECA as part of that. And the skill set you're talking about, people that are hiring, people are looking for, you're getting there. They're actually telling us that's the skill set they want. So keep up doing what you're doing. It's a great thing there on the DECA side. So,
All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for your guys' time.
all right. Thank you. All right. Now we'll move on to new business. Review and consider approval of a recommendation of the Facility and Finance Committee to close Custer Elementary at the conclusion of the 25-26 school year. Dr. Bitts, is there anything you want to add to what you had there before we move on? Or Mr. Enzi, if there's anything you want to add to, you feel free, okay?
No, I would just say that preschool or special ed preschool is required by federal law. We do have to do it. Bismarck does it. They combine with Head Start over in Bismarck. We don't run the Head Start program. HIT does. We did explore that avenue a year ago, and they were not interested right now in, they have a lease at the building they're at. They were not interested in moving at this time.
Okay, thank you. And just for everybody's knowledge, this actually went before the Facility and Finance Committee a couple weeks ago.
End of January, I believe.
February 9th.
February 9th, yeah.
And their recommendation at that point was to do this in regard to it. So just so everybody's aware, that was also discussed there in regard to it. I don't think it was anonymous, but it was the motion that came out of that one. So what are the wishes of the board? Any comments, any questions? What are you thinking here in regard to it? Yep.
Just make one other comment.
Yep, go ahead.
I just want, because there's a lot of people from the public, there are a lot of people here tonight that we don't hear about these things for the first time at these meetings, so I just want to be clear on that, because sometimes people think that we're getting information right away, but these are things that we learn about and know about. We get all the minutes from other meetings, and we talk about things, or we know the lay of the land before the meetings often because of the reading that we do, so I just wanted to clarify that. I think it's important.
Yep. Anything else anybody wants to add? Any comments? What are the wishes of the board? Get us started. It's up to you guys.
I believe whatever we decide, we as a board will have to look and see what to do with the building as far as, like a bank was mentioned. Something well, something where it would still maintain something to do with young people, educating young people, whatever it may be. But I guess with that, I would move that we close Custer School.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. The motion has been made and seconded to close Custer Elementary at the conclusion of the 25-26 year. Further conversations of what we do with that building will happen through the board process and probably the Facility and Finance Committee also.
I will say, I think we do have at least one option of repurposing that for kids. And I think that whether that's the most financially benefit to us or not, I think that's one that we should really see if we can make work.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is review and consider approval of amended joint powers agreement with Mandan Parks. Dr. Bitts.
Correct. We're required once a year to meet with the Park District. We have two board members on that. That's Mr. Horn and Mr. Haugen. And we met with the Park District in early January, and we kind of went through and we updated our agreement that we have. We have a joint powers agreement with them. There were no substantial changes to it. We changed the pay rates. We were sharing everything equally at the All Seasons Arena. We've kind of moved out, so we're paying, but not an equal share different. We hadn't added Lakewood in, and they do run an after-school program in Lakewood, so we talked about that as well. The rest of it were just cosmetic changes. The Park District approved this at their February meeting, and it would be our recommendation that you approve it as well.
All right, what are the wishes of the board?
I'd make the motion to approve the amended joint powers agreement with Mandan Parks.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is review and consider the following certified resignations. Katie Vardy, math at Mandan Middle School. Chloe Markovic, health at Mandan Middle School. Tanasha Warner, agriculture at Mandan High School. Courtney Wise, 5th grade at Fort Lincoln. Stephanie Jans, 2nd grade at Mandan Middle School. And Kayla Munez, English at the Mandan High School. Dr. Ritterath.
We would recommend that you accept these resignations and thank them for their service in Mandan. We wish them nothing but the best.
All right. What are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we accept the letters of resignations.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second? Second. We have a second. Any discussion? I would just like to thank all of them for all of their dedication to the students of Mandan. We thank you for all what you have done, and congratulations and wherever you're moving on in regard to it. We wish you the best in that. Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item is review and consider approval of the following certified retirements. Tammy Kelly, Social Studies at Mandan Middle School. Sandra Pfaff, ELA at Mandan Middle School. And Renee Bryan, Special Ed at Mandan High School. Dr. Ritterath.
Again, we'd recommend your approval of these retirements and thank them for all three of these have long served Mandan and have been outstanding educators for us. So we're sad to see them go, but wish them the best of luck.
All right, thank you. What are the wishes of the board on this one?
I would move that we accept the certified retirement resignations.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
A second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? I'd just like to thank all three of these for all their hard work and dedication, and I wish them the best in their retirement as they go through that. So thank you all for everything you've done there.
I would also like to thank all three. I worked with all three, and we're losing three Eagles, but best of luck to them in their retirement.
Yep. Any further comments, discussions? All right, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item, review and consider request to hire the following certified staff. Michaela Schneider, Social Studies at Mandan Middle School, and Delaney Ziegler, English at the Mandan High School. Dr. Ritterath.
Both of these individuals have been long-term subs for us and have been doing outstanding jobs, and so we're excited to have them join the Mandan family, and we'd recommend their approval.
All right. What are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we approve the two applications.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I would just welcome, thank you for long-term services that you provided so far to us, and welcome to being full-time employees. So welcome aboard. Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item, review and consider approval of the superintendent summative evaluation. It's included in there. Pretty much everything was really good in regard to that, and everybody was wishing you congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you.
So we wish you the best on your retirement. I don't know why we even filled it out, because it has no bearing anyway. Because
The law says you have to.
the law says I have to. Huh? Yeah. All right. What are the wishes of the board?
I've,
Go ahead.
I'd make the motion to approve the superintendent's summative evaluation.
All right. We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? It's the last time you get to evaluate them here. You guys want to roll it on them now or not?
Getting boring.
Yep. Again, thanks, Mike. Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item, review and consider request to approve open enrollment application seeking a deadline waiver. We have several of those in front of us.
Only one of those.
One of them. Dr. Bitts, go ahead.
Okay, we have
Hit 'em
one of
backwards.
those. Your next item is open enrollment for next year, and you have several of those in front of you. Those are students who live outside of our district who are requesting to come here next year. But this one is somebody who during the year moved out of our district. Because they moved during the year, they're requesting to stay with Mandan for the rest of the year. It would be our recommendation that we accept it.
All right, we have a recommendation. What are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we accept this application, this open enrollment application.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussions? Any further discussions? Seeing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next item, review and consider a request to approve open enrollment applications for the 26-27 year. I will let the board know one of these individuals in here is my nephew and his wife for their child. If you would like, I will step off from this. If you have nothing, I got no financial gain or anything with it, but if you would, I would step back. Okay, seeing everybody's okay with that. We'll proceed. Dr. Bitts, anything you want to add on this one?
No, just that would be our recommendation that you approve all these.
All right, we have a recommendation. What are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we approve the open enrollment applications for 26-27.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I would like to say something. There is a pile of papers here. This really goes to the people in our community, in our schools, and our educators and everybody for all the work they do. That people want to come in and be here, just like those at Custer, and every school does an excellent job because there's quite a few of them here in regard to it. I just want to say thank you for that. All right, any further discussion? If not, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is future meeting dates, March 4th, Heart River CTA, 6 p.m., Mandan CTE Conference Room. March 5th, Assistant Superintendent interviews, 9 a.m., the Brave Center. And there's 4 of those, correct? March 16th, regular school board, 5:30 p.m., City Hall. March 23rd, student achievement, 5 p.m. at the Brave Center. March 30th, the Wellness Committee, 4 p.m. at the Brave Center. April 6th, regular school board meeting. Any other meetings that should be identified for the board? If not, we will adjourn the meeting. Thanks, everybody, for coming tonight.